Morning, everyone. My name is Simon Smotkowicz. Until this past Tuesday, I was the executive chef at the SHA Conference Center. And so local, well, I think my first introduction, I was trying to figure out with Jessie how long I've been working with local. An advocate, probably over the last 10 years, very much so. But I think it goes back to about 96, 97, when I started to do local. And as a chef, you know, you are driven by quality of the food. But when you work for a convention center, you are driven by bottom line as well. And I've always been driven by bottom line, by money, by cost. So when large conferences would start to approach us about using local, local was quite a bit more expensive than what you would get from the broadliners, from the Cisco, the GFS, and so forth. So right away, that would be a bell that would go, and so we would charge extra, and I would insist that we charge the same percentage cost. So we would bring the cost quite high, and it was we didn't sell as much local, even if they wanted local. Then I think it became a culture. Sustainability for us and for myself is very important. So as we became more conscious of sustainability, we wanted to use local, and to be honest, it was quite a learning curve. A lot of whiplash, if I would say, where for us, local when we started was really local. It was 100 kilometers, the 100 miles journey. And then we deal with, going back to about 15, 16 years ago, there was the local farmers, local producers. They would have a good product, but you would not necessarily be able to use it. They would not necessarily have the volume that we would require, even for an event. And they were very unreliable because there was a curbing curve there that everybody had to learn. So it was quite difficult. As a convention center, you have a set of menus that is prepared that lasts about 12 to 18 months. You make some changes along, but a convention planner or an association, a group, a national association or local will come to see you and they will get menus. And then once you start negotiation, these menus are basically guaranteed price-wise. There is something on the bottom of the menu which says that price can change, but in actual fact, you pretty much you want these people to come, you want them to pay room rentals as well. So you guarantee these prices. And when somebody comes and see you with some chickens and they are whole, and you use chicken breast, it's a problem. So I think you start to become a champion because you believe in it. It tastes better, it's nicer, you tend to be proud about your product. So you have to really, as a chef, as an operator, you have to learn how to use a product different ways. So in our case, we use, thousands and thousands of chicken breasts. So we decided that, maybe we need to find a way to use whole chickens. They were more expensive. That was an issue as well, and it was quite a bit more money. But then there was also the issue of, I need 300 chicken today, I need 500 the next week. And so we had to work with somebody locally. We would actually get chickens from different producers. They would be processed in a provincial plant. They would go in a freezer. And she would get, at any time, she would have 300 to 400 chickens for us. But then we would cook the whole chicken, and then we would make 4 portions out of 1. But again, there it's labor, it's work. Same thing happened with beef. For lunchtime, we wanted to use local, so we went with we decided to go towards a meatloaf. So it really takes some menu engineering. You really have to champion it. And when we go back about maybe 10 years ago, we could charge basically what we wanted. And I think Jessie talked about it a few weeks ago. Our prices we use a lot of local, and our prices were quite high on the local items. And we would still be able to sell today in the present economic situation is very, very different. And last year, the SHA we were on 50% of local, what we call local. And local is produce, grown, processed within the province. That's what our new definition of local is. This year, as I left, it's tougher. I didn't get the numbers, exact numbers for 16 before I left, but I expect they are down a little bit. With our local group, which started about 4 years ago, we found so many items that Jessie mentioned that we have been using, like Mexicasa, the tortillas. Well, guess what? They are made right in the province, but we would never know. So there's a lot of available. The Cisco, the GFS, the broadliners, for the operators, you have to watch as well. For example, if we used liquid eggs, frozen egg white, frozen or egg yolks, and sugar egg yolks as well. Sugar egg yolks are usually for the pastry shop. It's not because the liquid eggs or the egg yolks come from Alberta that the omelets or the whites are local within our new definition. So there again, you have to be very, very careful. One item may show on the list, the broker will come and see the purchasing manager, the chef, and so forth, and say, oh yeah, we have a plant in Alberta. Yes, but the egg whites or the egg yolks come from somewhere else. So it's quite a bit of a challenge as well.